to order on Monday, May 18, 2009. We have with us this evening Pastor Bill Long from South Day Baptist Church of Homestead, who will be bringing our prayer, and the Vice Mayor Burgess will be bringing the Pledge of Allegiance along with the police explorers. Would everyone please stand?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This traditional practice we are about to take part of here this evening is really required of us of the Scriptures. As Paul writes, he says, first of all, I urge that supplications, prayer, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high places. We have before us here this evening, we are in the presence of City Council. They fall into that category. In your agenda for tonight, it says in the middle of the top line that this is what's called the invocation. The root word of that means to invoke. So we are now calling upon God to visit us during this meeting. Of all the events that will happen here this evening, this must be regarded as the most important, because what we're calling upon is asking God to visit us, to superintend and oversee all the decisions and all the discussions that take place. Because the decisions that this City Council makes and the influence that you have upon them affects our very lives. And God says two things. He says, first off, this is good. And secondly, that we all may be able to live godly lives, lives that are pleasant, that we might be able to witness of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He tells us there's one God, one mediator between man and God, the Lord Jesus Christ. So as we partake of this event this evening, please regard this as extremely serious, because when we stand in the presence of the Creator of the universe, this is no mean opportunity for us to take lightly. Let's bow our heads in a word of prayer. We thank you, Father, that this government in Homestead, Florida, we have this time and they still recognize that you have a place in leadership. You have a place in authority. And we're asking, Lord, that you would be pleased with all the decisions that are made here this evening, that your will and your word would be honored in practice, in procedure, in votes, in discussions. We pray, Lord, that you would impart wisdom to our councilmen, councilwomen, all those that are part of all this, from the finances to regulation, all the things that matter and that affect our very lives, the way we conduct ourselves in the city of Homestead. Thanking you that even here in the United States, we still have local government freedom. And Lord, we remind us always to be mindful that it's a privilege that not every country enjoys like we do here tonight. So Lord, forgive us where we fail you. Watch over our hearts. Minister to the minds. Wisdom is what we ask for in all matters. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag and our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right face. Forward march.
Thank you. You may be seated. Haitian Community Award presentation.
Hold on. Roll call first.
Okay. Vice Mayor, roll call. Vice Mayor Burgess?
Here.
Councilwoman Lobos? Here. Councilman McCormick is absent. Councilman Nelson?
Here.
Councilwoman Sierra? Here. Councilwoman Waldman is absent. Mayor Bell? Here.
I appreciate you trying to expedite things.
Now, Haitian Community Award presentation. I'm just excited to get over there.
Good evening. We all know how painful it can be for a city to endure hurricanes. And if we recall the devastation that happened in New Orleans with Katrina and what happened here in Homestead with Andrew in 1992. But last year, 4 hurricanes suddenly went through Haiti. And that little country that already in a lot of hardship, we had a lot of devastation. People died, people lost their homes and families and friends. And it was all over that people gave us a helping hand. And at this moment, I want to really recognize and honor the city of Homestead with Mayor Linda Bell for the good hands that they gave to the country of Haiti. They did not stay silent through this adversity. They had food drive, they gathered goods and money for Haiti. And in sign of our recognition for this great hand that they give us, in the name of the Pastors Association of Homestead, as the president of this association, I want to invite Pastor Franklin to come with me to represent the Pastors Association of Homestead, the churches in Homestead, to present to you, Mayor Linda Bell and the City of Homestead, this great plaque. This says, unfortunately, disasters of any nature strike individuals, families, cities, states, even countries. Most of the time, there is no escape or safe prevention against their fatal blows. The most common questions in human existence regarding our faith is not if, but when, where, how, and who is the next in line. During the summer of 2008, Haiti was the next in line of 4 consecutive violent hurricanes which destroyed many cities, took hundreds of lives, and destroyed hundreds of houses. Because of your material responses to help the victims of Haiti, the Mission Evangelical Resurrection, together with the Fellowship of the Pastors Baptists of Miami, with the Association of the Churches in Homestead, present this plaque to you with a flag of Haiti as a vivacious expression of our deepest appreciation for your endeavor.
I want to thank you so much, and I want to thank the council too, because when I asked the council to open up their hearts, every one of them did. So I want to thank the mayor and council. I want to thank the council. Councilman McCormick did the Rise to the Occasion event. I want to thank Councilman McCormick in his absence, and he could not be with us this evening for a prior commitment, but I'm so grateful to this. Now, I also want to tell you something, that they had this planned, and Councilman Lobos accompanied me up to Wayside Baptist Church in Miami for this wonderful, spectacular evening where they were honoring different people because of their contribution towards Haiti, and the flag was presented. But today is Haitian Flag Day, and it just so happens that we didn't even know that when we were planning all of this. So this is very symbolic of Haitian Flag Day today, and on this day that I received that. And by the way, Sheila Shedd is the one who contacted the pastors to come and bring this. So Sheila's not with us tonight, but thank you, Sheila, for thinking about doing that. That was very nice, and thank you so much. And thank you, Councilman Lobos, for accompanying me on these crazy things when I go, hey, you want to go with me somewhere? And so thank you very much, and thank you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do for Homestead. We do appreciate you so much. I appreciate the both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay with me. Next special presentation, and we mean special. Air Base Elementary second grade class presentation to Mayor Bell for adoption of the class by President Jacqueline Nogueras and Vice President Jonathan Concepcion. So please come forward. By the way, I swore them in when they were elected. Ms. Fairclough brought me in and asked me to swear them in, and so I went to Air Base Elementary to do the swearing in as well. Very important day.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Bell and members of the Council. My name is Jacqueline Nogueras, the class president of Miss Fairclough class, and this is Jonathan Concepcion, the vice president of Miss Fairclough class. Tonight, myself, along with the members of my cabinet, are here to express our appreciation to Mayor Bell for adopting our class and hosting a field trip which gave us an opportunity to visit the city chambers. Without further ado, we present to you the key to our classroom.
Let me say thank you so much. And yes, not only did we swear them in and I adopted their class, but they also did one of the civics lessons with the mayor. And they were one of my earliest civics lessons. And let me tell you, there were 4 or 5 classrooms here. 5 classrooms here. These chambers were full of children, and they were so well behaved, and I was so impressed with the children at Air Base Elementary School, not to mention the Teacher of the Year for Miami-Dade County. And I know Councilwoman Sierra is just loving this, with education at forefront with Nazi. But Patricia Fairclough, some of you don't know if you didn't read the newspaper, she is one of the 5 finalists for the Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Florida. But that's not all. She got to throw the opening pitch at the Marlins game this past weekend, and I'm understanding it was straight and right over the plate. So way to go, Patricia.
Mayor Bell, I just wanted to thank you for your unwavering support to my classroom. I can honestly say that my students are truly servants. They have hearts of servants and they're always willing to serve. And that's because they've been watching Mayor Bell and getting tips from Mayor Bell. I'd also like to introduce my Secretary of Education, Brittany Torres. Please raise your hand. She has been my source of inspiration throughout this Teacher of the Year process. She gives me encouraging words, tell me I'm in it to win it. So Brittany, I thank you for all of your support. Mayor Bell, Jacqueline Nogueras, I can honestly say she ran a clean campaign and she has fulfilled, very important, she has fulfilled her campaign promise. She started a foundation called Books Off Shelves, where she's going to garner books off of our shelves to place on the shelves of children who need them the most. So with the support of her cabinet, she has collected almost 1,000 books, over 1,000 books that we will be donating to the Homeless Assistance Center next week.
Where do you want to see? On the front? I'll stand behind you.
Good job, Patricia.
It is now my pleasure for the recognition of the Galata Youth Event, Vevey Montfort, for outstanding academic achievement. Vevey, please come forth. The first thing Jacqueline said is, Mayor, did you see I got a haircut? Best Buy, come forward. We have a real treat for this very, very wonderful young woman.
I'm sorry.
Vevey Montfort of Galata Youth Program. This is in recognition of her outstanding academic achievement. She's graduating in the top 20% of her class at South Dade Senior High with a 4.68 GPA. And we have a special treat on top of what I have for her. I'll go ahead and give this first because this is just pretty amazing what you're about to receive. We have two things tonight from the City of Homestead, one from the city and one from the county. We have a certificate of appreciation from the Miami-Dade County Office of the Mayor and the Board of County Commissioners. As chairman and on behalf of the Mayor, the Board of County Commissioners, and the residents of Miami-Dade County, I take great pleasure in presenting the certificate of appreciation to you in recognition of your valuable contributions to our community on this 18th day of the month of May 2009 in Miami-Dade County, Florida, signed Dennis C. Moss, Chairman, and Carlos Alvarez, Mayor. And then we also have a certificate of recognition. This certificate is awarded to Vevey Montfort. Am I saying your name properly?
Yes.
Oh, good. From the Galata Youth Program, South Dade Senior High, in recognition of your commitment and dedication to academic achievement. The City of Homestead salutes you. And now, we're saving the best for last. Joseph Beckles of Best Buy is here to present her the gift. Mr. Beckles?
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. Thank you very much for having me here. We've been in the Homestead area for about 9 months now. Before we came along, we met Louis and Billy and his team at Galata, and it's been a very great partnership because what they've been doing goes along very nicely with what Best Buy stands for. And on behalf of the Best Buy family, we'd like to present you with a laptop for your future endeavors. You know, kids these days have a lot. For you to do what you did, we're extremely proud of you. Keep it up. Hope to see great things from you in the future. Congratulations.
Vevey, would you like to say a few words? I think this beats a plaque, don't you?
Good afternoon. My voice is kind of shaky and messed up from 2 days ago, but first and foremost, I would like to thank Galata. Thank you for this great opportunity. I am shocked. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Also, I would like to thank the City Council for honoring me tonight. And you too, Mayor Rob. Thank you very much. Best Buy. Thank you. Galata has done a lot of things for me. I wouldn't even know where to begin. They've helped me improve my grades. they've helped me broaden my horizons. They've done so much for me. I am seriously speechless. I do not know what else to say. They've done everything that they could to help me. They've made me who I am today. I've grown up in this place called Galata. I've met my friends there, and they've just done amazing things for me. All the people, the staff, the students, I would love to thank everybody. And of course, last but not least, I would also like to say thank you to my family for supporting me, and my friends, of course, Arlene and Ernie. I don't forget you guys. I thank you guys for coming here tonight. And I thank everybody for being here tonight and for honoring me. Thank you.
Homestead with the cabin. And thank you to Ms. Lois Jones for bringing this wonderful child to us, for her recognition as well. Thank you, Best Buy. This is a great night. Next is a presentation to Beverly Rouse from the General Employees Retirement Plan Board member for 8 years of service. Beverly? And Beverly is very faithful and very dedicated in her attendance to these board meetings. It's very important to have good attendance, and we really do appreciate Beverly. Beverly, the City of Homestead Dedicated Service Award presented to Beverly D. Rouse in recognition and appreciation of outstanding dedication and service from February 2001 to 2009 as a board member of the General Employees Retirement Plan, this 18th day of May 2009. I do so appreciate you. Thank you.
I'd just like to say, I don't only consider this an honor, but I considered it a privilege to be elected by the members, the retired members of the City of Homestead, to serve them in this capacity. Believe me, it's a learning experience. It's one that I would never have had any other way. So thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. Lessons on the job. Next, we have community introduction of Laura Fitovic. She's the regional director of U.S. Senator Bill Nelson's office. Please come forward. Is Laura with us? Moving right along. Next, we have the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Certification of the Municipal Clerks presentation to Ms. Sherry Ader, Deputy Clerk. Come forth, Sherry. Great. We in Homestead very much believe in cross-training, and I see that we have Sherry's family back there. There's her son waving, her husband and her only son. Welcome. I know that Sherry couldn't do what she does without the support of her family. We have 3 trained municipal clerks in the clerks and assistant to the mayor and council's office. So we definitely are very well prepared and cross-trained, and I wanted to tell you a few things about this certification. The mission of the International Institute of Municipal Clerks is professionalism in local government through education. To earn the Certified Municipal Clerk designation, the participant must complete an extensive training program and have experience in the city clerk's office. The successful completion of the certification curriculum indicates that the individual has acquired the necessary knowledge, skills, abilities and competencies for performing the duties of the city clerk's office. Sherry Ader recently earned her certified municipal clerk designation. She celebrated her 10-year anniversary with the city of Homestead in April. She's worked in the Development Services Department and Permitting and Zoning, the city clerk's office. Then she went over to the CRA, and then she came back to the clerk's office. Sherry is very knowledgeable about the city and has been called upon to fill in for the city clerk position, and she filled in for Patty for several months when Patty was out on sick leave. And so we thank Sherry very, very much, and look at this beautiful, beautiful plaque. International Institute of Municipal Clerks hereby confers the title of Certified Municipal Clerk upon Sherry Ader, CMC, who has completed the requirements prescribed by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks for certification. This, folks, is a big deal. Thank you.
I would like to thank God, Mayor and Council, Mike Shahada, Joanna, and of course my family for their support during this. Thank you.
You're up. Crazy.
Thank you very much, Sherry. A lot of awards and presentations tonight. It's a good night. Next, we have the GFOA's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award to Elizabeth Manguel and Joanna Faddis with Councilwoman Lobos.
Thank you. Good evening. As Chair of the Finance Department, it is my pleasure and honor to say to Council, Mayor, and the residents of Homestead that we have been presented with a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, which is the first time for the City of Homestead. This award is presented by the Government Finance Officers Association in the United States and Canada, and this award is presented for fiscal year 2008-2009. It is the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting. This award represents the commitment of the City of Homestead and its staff to meet the highest principles of governmental budgeting. To receive this award, the entity had to satisfy nationally recognized guidelines for effective budget presentation. The guidelines are divided in 4 categories: how the budget serves as policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications device. The document must be rated proficient in all categories to receive the award. In 2007, 1,165 entities received the award, and the figure for fiscal 2008 is not available yet, but we look forward for that number next year. And with me I have Elizabeth Manguel and City Assistant Manager Joanna Faddis, who actually directed the budget process during the year that we won this. So thank you, ladies.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members, Mr. City Manager, we wanted to thank everybody for your guidance and leadership throughout the budget process. This is definitely the first of many budget awards that we will be receiving, and we also would like to thank all of the department heads and their staff for all of their support as well during the budget process. I would definitely be remiss if I didn't thank Elizabeth Manguel for all of her countless efforts, her countless hours that she put in putting this budget together. Thank you.
Good evening. I want to thank my family, my mom. I'm going to dedicate this for you. This is for you. And I know that my sister is watching me through the internet. This is for you too. And my son, Daisy, and my husband, they help me. It's not easy when this process is very stressful, but they are always by my side, so thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Switchboard of Miami presentation, Councilwoman Sierra.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to invite Rosario Soto, Nick Guzman, and Stefan Matier to the podium, please. I had a meeting with Ms. Soto and Mr. Guzman a while ago, and they were explaining to me what the Switchboard of Miami does. And having had several different situations going on within our municipality, I felt that it would be to the best interest of the entire community to have them come and do a small presentation in English, Spanish, and Creole so they can get their message across as to what their services are. This gets televised, and this way we can reach all of our community. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, I want to thank you for having us here today.
Okay, let's do this again. Madam Mayor, thank you for having us here. Councilwoman Sierra, thank you for inviting us. Members of the council. Good evening, everyone, neighbors. My name is Nicolai Guzman, and I'm with the Switchboard of Miami. I'm the outreach coordinator there. And what the Switchboard is a nonprofit organization. We are not a government agency. We are a nonprofit. We can serve anyone in the community. We have been answering the call for over 40 years, since 1968. We have 11 specialized helplines, and those helplines provide information and referral services, as well as crisis intervention and suicide prevention by certified counselors. These lines are answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. All the services that we provide are free. They are no cost, regardless of immigration status, race, anything. We don't request personal information. All calls are held confidential. We have counselors who can answer the call, not only in English and Spanish, but also in Creole. And we are not limited to those three languages. We also have interpreters that we can call upon 24 hours a day to interpret any other language. This service, as I said, is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our helplines are as follows. Our two main helplines are 305-358-HELP, which is 4357, and we also have the 211 line that's funded by the Children's Trust. We have a Teen Link hotline, as well as a Roxy Bolton Rape Treatment Center hotline that answers the call after hours for the Rape Treatment Center. We have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline hotline. We have the GLBT Suicide Awareness Initiative, which targets the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender population. We have the Youth Gang hotline. We have Care Force, which is a partnership with Channel 10. We have Miami-Dade County Public Schools Employee Assistance Program hotline that serves that population. We have the Seniors Never Alone program that serves seniors 65 years and older. And we have the Operation Helping Hands hotline, which is activated only in the event of a disaster, a major disaster such as a hurricane or your 9/11. The last one is in partnership with the Operation Helping Hands is in partnership with 311 and the Office of Emergency Management. And this year the Red Cross will be included in that partnership. Other services that we provide are clinical and prevention services for youth and family, as well as CEU behavioral training and volunteer crisis management training, which is called our core training. Some of the services listed in our directory include alcohol and drug abuse treatment, domestic violence for victims and offenders, legal services, immigration services, daycare, after-school tutoring, health insurance for adults and families, medical services, immunizations, and help with mortgage relief. Now I'm going to introduce the 211 manager, Rosario Soto, and she will conduct the same thing that I said in Spanish.
Thank you very much, members of the council and Mayor Linda Bell. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's really an honor to be here today. And no, voy a transferir en español. Muchas gracias a concejales de esta ciudad, la Mayor Linda Bell. Switchwood de Miami es una organización sin fines de lucro. Nosotros no somos una agencia de gobierno, somos una agencia que se sostiene a través de contribuciones de diferentes organizaciones. Nosotros hemos estado contestando las llamadas por más de 40 años. Nosotros proveemos información, referidos, intervención en situaciones de crisis y prevención de suicidio. Nosotros tenemos a consejeros certificados cómo manejar cualquier crisis. También los servicios son de llamar a nuestra línea son libres de todo cargo, no se le cobra nada para la persona. Lo tenemos las 24 horas al día, los 365 días a la semana, y tenemos también los servicios disponibles en inglés, en español, en criollo, más aparte tenemos acceso a intérpretes en cualquier lengua. Por lo tanto, si ustedes conocen a una persona que está en una crisis de cualquier tipo, llamen por favor y nosotros les vamos a poder ayudar en cualquier idioma. Los servicios son confidenciales. Nosotros no pedimos ninguna información acerca de la persona que está pidiendo ayuda. Nosotros no estamos conectados, como dije, con ninguna agencia de gobierno, somos independientes. Nosotros tenemos 11 líneas especializadas. Cada una tiene una función distinta y atrae a diferentes personas. Las principales líneas que nosotros tenemos son la línea 305-358 HELP, que es número 4657, o simplemente puede llamar al número 211, que está patrocinado por el patrocinio de niños y familias, de Children's Trust y el United Way de Miami. Nosotros tenemos la línea para adolescentes donde los muchachos pueden hablar para recibir información. Se oyen grabaciones de 80 temas que son de su interés de ellos. También tenemos la línea para personas que han sido violadas sexualmente, que esto se hace en conjunción con el Jackson Memorial Hospital. Nosotros contestamos la línea después de las horas de servicio, y la forma en que esto opera, nosotros activamos un grupo de personal médico que van hasta el lugar donde se encuentra la víctima. Tenemos también a la línea nacional del suicidio, son 24 horas al día igualmente, y nosotros también somos ahora, recibimos llamadas de toda la nación cuando las otras líneas en los otros estados no pueden manejar las llamadas. Tenemos la línea, la GLBTQ, que es para la comunidad gay, lesbiana, bisexual y transgénero. La línea de las gangs, para las pandillas, es para jóvenes y para personas que creen que una persona tiene problemas con gangas, o alguien que ya está en una ganga. Nosotros somos un directorio de servicios o de agencias que ayudan a estos muchachos. Tenemos también la línea de Care Force, que es patrocinada por el Canal 10, donde se piden ayuda para familias que tienen alguna necesidad muy fuerte. También tenemos la línea para los maestros de aquí de Miami-Dade, para la Employee Assistance Program. Los Seniors Loan Program, esta línea es para las personas de más de 65 años y se les da ayuda por teléfono también de tipo de crisis, y se les contacta ocasionalmente, o más bien 2 veces a la semana. Cuando hay un desastre, las personas que están trabajando conocen a ancianos que están solos. Ellos hablan con la policía y con el Fire Department para ayudarlos en esta crisis. También tenemos la Operation Helping Hands, que esta línea únicamente es activada cuando hay un desastre natural, y se está haciendo con la oficina de emergencia, la línea 311, y ahora con la Cruz Roja. Algunos de los servicios que nosotros tenemos en nuestro directorio son programas de alcohol y drogas para los adultos, para los niños, programas de violencia doméstica, servicios legales que son libres de cargos, servicios de migración, cuidado de niños, tutoría, seguro para médico para niños y para adultos, y inmunizaciones y para ayudar a las personas que están perdiendo su casa. Existen organizaciones sin fines de lucro que les están ayudando. Muchas gracias y pues estamos a su disposición y muchas gracias por la oportunidad que nos dieron a nosotros. Perdón, me olvidé anunciar a la siguiente persona, Stéphane Metelier. Él va a dirigirse a la comunidad haitiana. Gracias.
Bonsoir Maire Bell, bonsoir membres conseillers, bonsoir audience. Non, moi c'est Stéphane Matelier et m'a parlé de Switch Personnel. Switch Personnel, organisation à but non lucratif. Nous là depuis 40 ans. Nous observons les communautaires. Et puis, bon, nous pas agence et gouvernementale. Et puis, nous avons 11 lignes nous spécialisées là-dedans que nous répondons pour les communautaires. Et nous faisons intervention dans le téléphone et nous faisons prévention contre suicide, contre quelle soit crise qui a passé dans la communauté. So, nous répondons pour nous aider les communautaires. Ensuite, nous aider pour les gens avec problème d'immigration, ne pas discriminer, nous, quel soit problème nous dans la communauté, nous avons nous et tout va être confidentiel entre les conseillers avec nous-mêmes. C'est que pas rien qui fuité, tout va être confidentiel. Nous avons des counselors qui répondent dans 3 langues, nous avons créole, nous avons espagnol avec anglais, et puis nous avons le service de traduction, quelle soit la langue nous parlons, nous avons des gens pour qui satisfaire les besoins. Et le service est gratis, c'est 24 sur 24, nous ne pouvons jamais fermer, quelle soit l'heure où il y a, toujours des gens pour qui répondent, à quel soit le problème nous gagnons. Nous avons 2 lignes principales, qui est Switch de Miami, qui est 305, 357, 43-58 avec 211. 2 mêmes lignes, c'est The Children's Trust avec United Way qui aide nous à supporter ligne. Ensuite, nous avons l'autre ligne, nous avons les Tino Line, c'est une ligne pour tout le monde qui gagne, peut-être qu'il il n'est pas, il besoin de parler avec un conseiller, il pas peut-être parler par la parole, il besoin de parler en monde, bon, pour que ce soit un problème, nous avons un conseiller qui parle avec eux. Ensuite, nous avons une ligne Rape Treatment Center et nous avons une ligne Suicide là, qui est une même ligne pour un 800 Suicide là. C'est nous qui avons une ligne ça tout, c'est que nous aidons toute communauté, quel soit problème suicide avec bon, ça qui a passé dernièrement et semaine ça avec tout ça qui a passé à la récession. Nous recevons plus de call comme si bon pour nous pas apaiser, nous parler avec nous et ça gagne le procès nous baillons. Nous avons une ligne GHBTian, c'est une ligne pour gays, lesbiennes, avec bisexuels, avec transgender. Nous avons une youth gang, si nous suspectons petit, nous avons quelle soit gang activité, nous suspectons là-dedans. Bon, nous avons une solution pour ça. Nous avons aider le monde et sortir dans la gang. Nous avons une affiliation dans la gang, que nous avons fait comme si pour participer dans des gangs, si nous besoin de sortir dans la gang. Si nous suspectons petit, nous avons tout, nous avons les lignes là, j'aime nous dire, tout est confidentiel. Alors, nous avons les seniors programme, c'est une ligne pour grand monde qui vient plus de 65 ans, si vous sentez seul dans le talent, nous avons un conseiller qui parle avec 3 fois par semaine, qui a dit comment, et bon, pour prendre nouvelles, pour faire tout case manager et programme pour eux. Et puis, dernière ligne, nous avons une ligne opération Helping Hand, c'est une ligne que vous mettez dehors pour les grands désastres, catastrophes dans le pays, c'est que vous vraiment aider nous avec les bases. L'autre service nous provide, tout nous avons un service prévention pour tout le monde, avec grand monde, tout le monde qui est rebelle, qui a des problèmes à l'école, qui a battu à l'école, qui a battu avec qui a des problèmes avec les parents. So, nous avons un programme pour ça tout. Et puis, bon, nous avons un training pour volontaires, si nous qui étions volontaires dans le Miami, qui est venu et tourner en counselor, comme si pour des communautés gens m'a fait là, nous avons tout service à tout. Et puis bon, nous avons notre service nous aider avec alcool, avec substance abuse. Avec problème, nous avons domestic violence, violence domestique pour victimes, avec bon, pour les gens qui offrent nous avons service légal, nous offrons tout service immigration, daycare, after school. Et nous avons health insurance pour ni pour grand monde ni pour petit monde, nous avons aider avec medical service. Nous avons un programme de vaccination pour tout petit monde qui est gratis. Et puis nous avons un programme de mortgage avec ça qui privé de là pour nous donner vraiment un soulagement avec le problème mortgage. Merci beaucoup. Non, moi c'est Stéphane Matelier. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Proclamation presentation to Iris Moore, Trust Specialist of the Year, Campbell Drive Middle School. Is Ms. Moore here?
In the city of Homestead, we have such amazing teachers, and many of them this year have been distinguished. Miss Iris Moore is one of them as well, and I'm going to go ahead and read. Counselor, that's right, I'm sorry. I'm going to read her proclamation. Whereas Iris Moore began her tenure as Trust Specialist with Miami-Dade County Public Schools and was appointed Student Services Department Chairperson in recognition of her many talents and knowledge at Campbell Drive Middle School, and she has recently been promoted as a result of her dedication and hard work. And whereas Iris Moore graduated cum laude with a bachelor's degree in psychology from St. Thomas University, a master's degree in social work from Barry University, and is a state Florida licensed clinical social worker. And whereas Iris Moore has diligently served the Homestead community and received many recognitions, including the Defiant Award for Top Community Service Hours, Defiant Club Award for School of the Year, and was elected Treasurer of the National Society of Psychology. And whereas Iris Moore has touched the lives of students, parents, and colleagues by teaching, mentoring, and creating a myriad of programs for the students of Campbell Drive Middle School, and is well known for working tirelessly to provide life skills and education to every student in the school. And whereas Iris Moore was chosen the Trust Specialist of the Year for Miami-Dade County Schools, and we, the City of Homestead, would like to honor this distinguished accomplishment. Now therefore I, Councilwoman Nazi Sierra, on behalf of Mayor Linda Bell, do hereby proclaim Monday, May 18th as Iris Moore Day.
Congratulations.
I want to thank Mayor Bell and the members of council for this proclamation. It is truly an honor to receive this. I put my heart and my soul to work with the students, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take a picture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Certificate and presentation to Nicole Gonzalez.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Math Teacher of the Year.
Many of you may have had an opportunity to see the article that came out in the paper. As Ms. Nicole Gonzalez, fifth grade teacher at Laura C. Saunders Elementary School. She excels at fifth grade math and science teachers at Laura Saunders Elementary. Gonzalez has a unique teaching style that helps her students understand math and science. Earned a master's degree in education at Brooklyn College and began teaching in New York. She taught first, second, and third grade. She was placed at Laura Saunders Elementary, where she has been for 4 years. Gonzalez also teaches language arts and science, GED classes, and pre-GED classes at the South Dade Adult Center. Thank you very much, Ms. Gonzalez. It gives me a pleasure to be able to honor you this evening.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to say a few?
Thank you very much, Mayor Bell, for inviting me. Thank you very much, Sierra, Councilwoman Sierra. I am so excited to be here, to be a part of the
greatness.
This is so exciting. Thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you very much for actually recognizing me for doing something that I love to do, which is to be there for my children. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to represent my school, Laura Saunders Elementary. Thank you, my family members, for always supporting me, and even me actually wanting to relocate from New York. They were very supportive, and they just moved down here, so thank you very much.
Well, Councilwoman Sierra, thank you for bringing these teachers here and counselors, and it's very clear that good things are happening on the southern end of the county. And I hope everybody else is taking note about how well we're doing down here on the southern end with Teachers of the Year, Rookie Teacher of the Year, Math Teacher of the Year, Trust Counselor of the Year.
It is absolutely amazing there. It's so nice, and I understand, as Ms. Gonzalez just expressed, thank you for recognizing me for doing something that I love. When you're a true educator, it's something that just comes out of you, and it's so nice to know that they're taking good notice of us down here in the South End, where we're doing great things. I now have 4 students that I would like to call up. Hopefully they're all here. I have Kevin Jean-Louis, Tylen Burtz, Sandy Guerra, and Michael Webb of Homestead Middle School. Are they all here? No?
You're here.
And Larry, Homestead Middle School.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Well, these are representing Homestead Middle School, and I just real briefly, these 4 students actually won the Do the Right Thing Award. And sometimes we get so caught up in just giving awards for students that get the grades or get the marks, and we forget that sometimes it is so difficult to just do the right thing when you're surrounded by things that really pull you in a different direction. I want to honor not just the 4 students, but their families, because it really takes a very strong family to raise a child, and I also want to honor the school, because you're obviously doing something really good at Homestead Middle School when your students are constantly getting the Do the Right Thing Award. You want to say something?
I just want to say thank you to all of you for honoring our students. I'm sorry they couldn't be here. As an intensive reading teacher, they're home studying for their exams, their final exams.
Yeah. And I wanted to come down and say hi all the way from downtown Miami. I run the Do the Right Thing program for the City of Miami Police Department, and this is our 20th year having the program, and we've gotten a lot of great support down in South Dade. Had a winner from Air Base last week, as well as Homestead Middle. So keep the nominations coming downtown, and we hope to have many more students honored. Well, we have one more ceremony, and then next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman Sierra. Keep bringing that good stuff about education coming to us. We now have before us the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move it.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions on the consent agenda? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes carry. Public hearings?
Excuse me, Mayor. We have a young lady from the Senator's...
Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more presentation. She came in. I apologize. Well, you have the consent agenda. We'll vote on it in a second. Laura Petrovic from Senator Nelson's office has arrived.
I'm so sorry for my tardiness. It's raining and people slow down a lot. First of all, thank you very much, Mayor Bell, for having me here, and to all the council. I've had the pleasure of running into Mayor Bell doing her hard work all over the county, so thank you for having me. I am the regional director for Senator Bill Nelson. I covered Dade and Monroe County for him, and very briefly, the purpose of my visit here today is to let the citizens of Homestead know that where our office is, what we can do for you. We take care of basically any kind of federal issue you may have, from Social Security to VA issues to anything that's federal. Our office is open to you, and we're located in Coral Gables, but I'm here today just to pass out information. We have brochures in English and Spanish, business cards, anything that you might want, or I'll be here for a while if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me directly. I want to also thank you for participating. It's a late night, it's Monday, and you all are here, and what a great turnout. What a wonderful group of residents that you all have here in the city of Homestead. All these awards are absolutely mind-boggling. You have some wonderful residents and some very friendly residents in the back over there. So thank you for coming. Very briefly, I also wanted to let you know a little bit about what Senator Nelson is doing up in Washington, D.C. It'll take 30 seconds. He did vote for the 2010 Budget Resolution Conference Report, which highlights 4 key priorities that restore the crumbling economy and put the country in a position to remain globally competitive. The priorities include reforming the healthcare system, which are currently being worked at in small roundtable groups, and the senators taking a large part in those discussions, investing in energy independence and education, and increasing support for the veterans. The budget provides a fiscal blueprint that allows Congress to debate and adopt legislation. So it doesn't indicate specific projects or legislation, but it gives the blueprint. It also makes sure that by 2014, the deficits are reduced to 3% of GDP, which I know is a big concern to Senator Nelson and some of the more conservative Democrats. He's been fighting for over 6 years now, fervently fighting for temporary protected status for Haitians, which is something that he feels needs to be done in this administration. Again, I'd like to thank you all for participating and being here in your local community doing the work, and the council and the mayor for having me. I will be in the back corner if anyone has any questions or would like any information. Thank you.
Thank you. I just had one quick question.
Sure.
Can you get us some more stimulus money down here, please?
We would love to, but then it's harder to get that GDP down. So we're working on it, though. We're working on it. We got a lot of money at the very least, for Everglades restoration, which is really important, and water. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Public hearing, ordinances, land use items. Good try.
Be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment on any of these items, please indicate the item number you'd like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony will be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish either to be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda package on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedure may be obtained from the clerk in accordance with Code Section 2591. A lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning any items on the agenda. This time, the newly certified municipal clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify.
Will you please stand and raise your right hand? I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I provide shall be the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. You may be seated.
Yes, tab 15. It's a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting site plan approval for the development of a 7,535 square foot retail commercial plaza on approximately 0.77 acres located on the corner of US 1 and Northeast 2nd Drive, is legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Second. The item has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions for staff? This is a public hearing. Are there any comments or questions for the applicant? Would the applicant like to speak on the item? Okay. It looks like it was a unanimous planning and zoning vote, so that's very good, and it doesn't seem like it's a very complicated issue, so thank you very much. Any questions or comments from council? Mayor Bell? Councilman Lobos?
I just think this is going to be a wonderful addition to US1, and that land that has been vacant for quite a while now definitely will help the Big Cheese, which is right next door.
Thank you very much. The public hearing, any comments from the public? We'll close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to tab 16, it's a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting final plat approval for Speedway Commerce Park located within the Homestead Park of Commerce, north of Park of Commerce Boulevard, and west of Southwest 142nd Avenue, as legally described in Exhibit A, consisting of approximately 14 acres and providing for an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. This is a public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from the council for staff? Any comments from the public on this item? We'll now close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
That concludes your quasi-judicial items. Moving on to your legislative items. Tab 17 is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code by amending Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans, by amending Article 3 General Employees Retirement Plan, by amending Section 22.5-101 Definitions, Section 22.5-102 Plan Membership, to close membership in the General Employees Retirement Plan to employees hired on or after April 1st, 2009, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date. This is second reading.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? I'd like to say that this move tonight on these items that we're about to approve, and this is a second reading, is going to be a long-term savings for the City of Homestead. It's going to cost us a little more initially, but in the long term, it's going to be a very big cost saver. So this is the City of Homestead City Council looking far into the future. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk. This is a public hearing. Any comments or questions from the public? Close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
This is a companion item dealing with the newly elected officials and senior management.
Right.
Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans, Article 6, newly elected officials and senior management retirement system, the City Code by amending Section 22.5, 301, 302, 303 to provide that senior managers appointed on or after April 20, 2009 should not be eligible for membership in the retirement system, providing for repealer, severability, and effective date. This is a second reading and public hearing.
So moved.
Second it.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions from the council, Mr. Manager? 1 minute, Mr. Manager. Councilman Lobos?
I just wanted to inform the council that I attended the first meeting as a newly appointed board member to this board, and I echoed their comments when they say that they thought that this is a very wise move for the same reasons that you mentioned for the previous item.
Thank you very much, Councilman Lobos. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, just if you look at this tab, the green sheet, the last paragraph of the green sheet talks about the senior manager positions will in the future under the 401A.
Right.
Before this plan was created, the assistant city manager, the deputy city manager, and the city manager had the option to become a part of the 401A. Now we're closing the retirement plan and we're just keeping that option. The only thing here, the 5% contribution and 13% personal contribution of the employee of 5%, and the 13% will apply only to the deputy and assistant city manager. But as the bylaws existed for many years, the city manager received 18% contribution if they choose to become a part of the city plan in the future. Just to clarify.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions for council, from council? This is the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the public? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item.
James really wants to read this one badly.
Go ahead, James.
This is the first
The first reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city code by amending Chapter 19, nuisances, by amending Article 5, accumulations of debris, rubbish, etc., growth of weeds, grass, etc., by amending Section 19.91, definitions, Section 1993, nuisance prohibited penalty, and Section 1995, prohibited as public nuisances, to enhance property maintenance, to provide that the owner of the abutting property is responsible for maintaining the public right-of-way free of nuisances, and to provide for encroachment. Amending Chapter 24, streets, sidewalks, and other public places by amending Article 3, sidewalks, curbs, and gutters, by amending Section 2465, maintenance, to provide that the owner of abutting property has a duty to maintain sidewalk, liability for damage, notice and assessment of costs and liens, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading.
So moved.
Second. The item has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions from the council for staff?
Just one comment, Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
I think this will help tremendously along a lot of areas in the town where there's been questions about who needs to do what. Is it the city or is it the homeowner or business or whatever? So I commend staff for coming up with what I think is a good change here for us, and I think it'll make a big difference over there, especially in the northwest side.
Thank you, John. Actually, Robert Landon and I just had a conversation this past weekend when we were out in the park for the tropical cornucopia, and it's true, and it's kind of a shame that you need an ordinance to tell people that they're responsible to keep the front of their buildings clean or the side of their buildings clean, whether they have a business or a property, but we need to go ahead and codify this, so it's very important, and it will basically improve the aesthetics overall for the entire city. But when I tell you that, I got a phone call and had a meeting with somebody who was discussing how this wasn't clean and this wasn't clean, that there was something trash right in front of their building, right on the side of their building, and nobody came and picked it up. And I just said, well, why didn't you pick it up? And so that was the mentality that, why isn't somebody from staff coming over here and picking this up? And so it's very effective to help them keep the properties clean. Yes, Mr. Manager.
And Mayor, council members, I would also to say this is also consistent the way the county practices their code is, and also many other cities in Dade County.
Thank you. It just helps them to take ownership for the property that's directly in front of them or around their property. Thank you very much. Any further comments or questions from council?
Mayor Bell.
Councilwoman Lobos.
I'd just like to repeat what I said at the committee of the whole, that Chief Burrow, Captain Washington, and her staff, they all did their homework thoroughly, and their presentations, which were not only to me but then to the committee of the whole, helped move things along rather quickly because you were very detailed in explaining what it was and what it wasn't. So thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you again also, Chief Rowe and Captain. Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Lobos. Any further comments or questions? Any comments from the public? Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans, Article 2 Police Officers Retirement Plan of the City Code by amending Section 22.521, 22.536, and 22.539 to provide that up to 354 hours of overtime shall be included in members' average final compensation, providing for repeal or severability and effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move it.
Second. The item has been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments or questions from council members? This is a public hearing. Any comments from the public on this item?
Mike's got a comment.
Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, just for the public and people who are viewing it at home, the reason we did this was in the negotiations, and it was really an item at no cost to the City of Homestead. We increased it by 10 hours to meet the minimum required by the state, and the funding comes from the state, so it's zero cost to the citizens of Homestead.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is resolution.
Next item is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, approving amendments to the Education Compact between Miami-Dade County and the City of Florida City, authorizing approval of the compact, providing implementation, providing for an effective date.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
The item has been probably moved and seconded. Councilwoman Sierra, would you like to elaborate a bit on this?
I do have some comments, Mayor, and wanted to let the public know and council know. I just found out that it is my understanding that with conversations that I've had with the district, that the compact will not need to come before the school board again. As long as we approve it as a city and we're fine with all the details and the minor changes that we've made to it, the school board does not have to reapprove it, being that is what they term as a living document. There were some changes that were made specifically with anything having to do with budget cuts. There were also some changes made as to expectations for academic achievement. And as a committee, we felt that these changes streamlined the compact in a way that we'll be able to do more with the time that we have. I'd also like to take a minute and thank some people that gave up close to 10 hours of their time to be able to rewrite this compact. Ms. Monica Whitaker, Wendy Lewitt, Susan LaGuardia, Janet Hupp, Patricia Faircloth, who is no longer here, Sadiq Abdullahi, Marjorie Lopez, Jerome Williams, Willie Wamble, Jeffrey Thomas, Adrian Lopez, David Cadaval, and Dr. Trantham. And these people came in week after week, sometimes twice a week, to make sure that we had this compact done in time, and I greatly appreciate their assistance, their knowledge, and their interest in really helping our students. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your work on this, Councilwoman Sierra, and that's a very well-rounded subcommittee.
It is.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions for Councilwoman Sierra on this compact? Any council questions at all?
Mayor, well, I have a question/comment.
Councilwoman Lobos.
Last time we had this compact come before us, one of the items that was identified was Homestead Middle School, and its identification that it was going to become a magnet school. And I know that 3 weeks ago, Dr. Feldman asked us, Councilwoman Sierra, Mayor Bell, and myself, to write a letter of recommendation for their IB program. Do you know if they actually did get accepted into the 3 categories that they were looking to be accepted into?
Not to my knowledge at this moment. I know that they're still working on it, but nothing has been definite at this time. But we are, one thing that I do want to mention, and not to go off subject, but real quick, is that the University of Miami has recently adopted Homestead Senior to try to help with Homestead Senior and bringing them out of the area that they are right now. They've taken a great interest in our community. And to answer your question, Councilwoman Ramos, I'm sorry that you just reminded me of that other issue. As soon as I do know something, you will be one of the first to know, because I know it's very important to you. Thank you.
Mayor Bell, I just wanted to elaborate on that, because last year I remember thinking, wow, I don't know if Homestead Middle School is going to be able to meet those targets. And when you speak to the principal to find out that not only are they now a magnet school, which was identified in the compact, that they're also now possibly an IB school, and I think that's a great accomplishment for the school.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes carry. Thank you. At this time, we will now open the floor for public comments. Any member of the public that would like to come and speak is welcome to do so at this time. Good, everybody's happy. This is from the city manager.
Mayor, council members, we have a few items to read, but since my throat is not helping me, I'm turning it over to Joanne to read it.
The City of Homestead has funds available through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program to provide down payment assistance to eligible applicants. A workshop will be held at City Hall at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, May 20th, for those interested in this opportunity. There are several requirements and implementations in order for someone to qualify. Please visit our website for further details. Once again, the Miami-Dade Police Department Mobile Field Force is conducting training at the sports complex. The training started on Tuesday, May 12th and ends on July 2nd. The training will take place every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. There will be approximately 20 police vehicles and numerous police officers when the training is taking place, and there may be some noise at times. The Miami-Dade Police Department committee members ensure the safety of the officers' training and any civilians that may be in the area. During training, procedures will be in place and precautions will be taken so that no civilian enters the area during the training scenario. Music in the Park will take place on Saturday, May 30th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Losner Park. And this month's event will feature the Fire Brigade Rock and Rescue.
All right.
With hurricane season right around the corner, and in order to help our residents get ready, the City of Homestead's Community Policing Unit will be distributing hurricane preparedness information from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the following dates and at the following locations. On Saturday, May 23rd, at the Public Supermarket at Oasis at 2950 Northeast 8th Street. On Saturday, June 6th, at Royal George Park at 201 Southwest 11th Avenue. Saturday, June 13th, Public Supermarket at Waterstone at 3060 Northeast 41st Terrace. Saturday, June 20th, at Lowe's, located at 1850 Northeast Campbell Drive. Due to critically low levels in the aquifer, lawn watering is now limited to 1 day per week for areas of South Miami-Dade, including Homestead. Odd-numbered addresses may water only on Saturdays from midnight to 10 a.m. and or 4 p.m. From midnight to 10 and from 4 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. Even number addresses may water on Sundays from the same times. Systems with no street address and systems that irrigate both even and odd addresses within the same zones, including multi-family units, homeowners associations, and shopping centers, should follow the same schedule for even-numbered addresses. And the next Chrome Avenue cruising will take place on Sunday, June 14th at Losmer Park from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's all of the business from the manager's office. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Vice Mayor Burgess?
Thank you, Mayor. Let me start by thanking Mr. Dan Carter. He came out not last weekend, the weekend before, the letter carriers of the Homestead Post Office put on a food drive that they do nationally, and he kind of spearheaded the labor part of getting it unloaded from the mail trucks and over to the Homestead Soup Kitchen, which, as you all know, the Mayor's Youth Council helped out in December, so this was another way for us to help them out. And I also want to thank John Moss and the Junior Civitans. The Police Explorers are out there. Christ Fellowship Church had a group of people out there, and the Mayor's Youth Council out there. And I think between all the letter carriers, the Soup Kitchen raised about 15,000 pounds of food, which if I remember what Dan told me the other night when I ran into him, he said they gave 5,000 pounds of food away within like the first 2 days to families that needed it to help them sustain through the weekend and stuff, so that those families would be able to eat. So even though it sounds like a lot, it goes quickly over there, and I appreciate all that he did and all that everybody else did, the letter carriers and their union and all that. And Mayor Bell was over there throwing the cans and the bags of rice and the Kiwanis, yeah. So thank you to all of them and for all that they do. Speaking of the Mayor's Youth Council, we are doing the Get Hype program again September the 17th. So if there's any nonprofit organizations that can use kids under 18, between like 14 and 18, to volunteer their hours and help them with some sort of their job scope or whatever they have, we will be looking for them to come and set up a booth and have the kids sign up there. And one thing we're going to try to add to it this year is groups that have scholarships that don't get publicized. We're going to offer them a chance to come out and let the kids know what they need to do to pick up the scholarships, or how and what they need to do to fulfill the needs of signing up for the scholarships. We're going to try to add that in also. So just a couple things that we're looking for, but we're trying to make it a good event, so we're getting the word out there early. I know it's going to be in September, but before school's out, we're trying to let kids know about it and so that they can think about it and let the organizations know as early as possible. And that's about it. I attended the Vision Council luncheon, which was very informative. If you remember the realtor that we saw up in Tallahassee, we had an economist there that was along the same lines and was explaining how this is all on a cycle, and on about an 8 to 10 year cycle, and how we're towards the end of that cycle and things should be picking back up for us. So it was kind of encouraging, even though that the economy does look not so good at times, but it's moving along, and he seems to think that we've got a great chance to recover down here in South Dade better than some of the other areas with some of the things that we have on tap. One last mention, July the 14th, we've gone to every other month with the Community Image Board, and that our next meeting will be July the 14th, and we still have one opening for that. So,
excellent.
Thank you. And Mayor, if I could, under your business, if we could just, since I'm talking about the Mayor's Youth Council, if we could maybe, you'll see that I've got 3 names of 3 kids that you know or have seen working out there at the food drive. If I could maybe just get those to move. And
Go ahead and move them.
I have Isaac Eves, Delana St. Germain, and Christy Wilson that have applied to and have been active with the Mayor's Youth Council. And if I could get a motion to make them full members, I would appreciate it.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes carry. Thank you.
Thank you,
I've
Mayor.
met Isaac Eves personally. In fact, his mother was one of my first professors going back to school. He's a great kid, great
And
family.
the other 2 joined and came right out there and were helping at the food drive. So they're enthusiastic and willing and helping. And they actually come out of the Miami-Dade College campus high school program down there. So
excellent.
Hard workers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilman Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. I'm going to be very short tonight. I wanted to start by saying that I attended the cornucopia event over the weekend, and what I wanted to highlight about that was that Commissioner Sorensen and Representative Dwight Bullard were there. And one of the things that they commented about Homestead is they said, you know, in this economic times, it is very good to come down to Homestead and see the construction, see the commercial development still going strong, to see stores opening. And so they said, I guess, you know, throughout the nation, there's these pockets of prosperity, and Homestead is one of them. And so that was very encouraging because we know it. We live here in the city, and we know how many new stores and restaurants and jobs we've seen over the past months. And so it's good to see that other people outside of the city notice it. And one of the things that benefits of going one of the first is that you get to announce something that the rest of the council members and mayor probably have on their list. But I'm happy to tell you that tonight, officially, Longhorn Steakhouse is now open for business.
Check it off.
So that, I know I was stealing someone's thunder then there, but hey, I'm one of the first, so I get to announce it first.
Just really sad.
My second item and my last item, I wanted to inform council and mayor as well as the residents of the city of Homestead that although we have done several things in our customer service department, not only have we changed the director now with Jerry Estrada and Richard Vega, who we have received several compliments through emails and phone calls, I understand that there's still some things that we can do better in the customer service area. So I've discussed it with the city manager as well as some of the directors, and we've come up with a customer service task force. And what it's going to be at the Director of Public Works, the Director of Electric Utilities, the Director of General Services, the Assistant City Manager, the City Manager, and myself. We're going to meet on a bi-weekly basis, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the customer service process, and we're going to identify and test each one individually every week. For example, one of the first things that I want to address is the calling system. We've had several concerns and complaints regarding the telephone system. Sometimes you're made to wait too long. It says that you will be next in line, and I know that we have emails where the customers actually time how long they're on hold, and so we get very detailed times as to how long they were on hold before they hung up and tried again. And so what I want to do is I want to empower this council and this staff so that when a resident complains, you'll have statistical numbers. Like, we're going to set up a test for the calling system and identify a failure rate to see if it's something that we need to address. And then when a resident comes to you, council members and mayor, you can say, well, you know, we've looked at this and we've identified that it only fails, 0.01%. So it's really not something that we need to address at this time. To have some real numbers, I mean, it's more than just to say we're looking at the problem one at a time. So we're hoping that this is a very real solution to our customer service problems. Anything that you can do, you can email me, you can call me. I know I received several inputs throughout the last year and a half as to what we can do better. And I think that with this many people putting their heads together, that we can do something very, very significant in the coming future. And so I look forward to reports to come out of this task force.
Councilman, thank you very much, Councilman Lobos. That's great. Councilman Sierra?
I just have one suggestion, if I may. I would really like to see our utilities to be able to do automatic charging monthly. I do it with some of my other billing systems, and I think that would be a great added service to our community for those that would like, and as well as to opt out of receiving paper bills. and you can do that now more and more, and since we're going green, I think that this is exactly what we need to do. Many people rather just get an email letting them know how much they owe than getting a paper document, so I think that that's something that we might want to look into. Thank you. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, just for clarification, this is an issue we looked at, and unfortunately the software we have does not have the capability to support it, and my instruction to Jerry was, if this software cannot provide that function, then we need to look at another software. I know you brought it to my attention at the Miami-Dade College, I think, Paul, and we were looking at it earlier also with Councilwoman Lopez brought it to our attention. The system does not have the capability, even though it's one of the processes we are looking at. That must be implemented. I agree with you. I also want to just mention that I know when I became a manager, it's one of the ultimatums I was given, to fix customer service. And I can tell you, we work very hard with staff and you to try to fix that area. And I know we still have challenges ahead of us, but I can tell you we're receiving more compliments than complaints, and in the past we did not receive compliments at all.
Piggybacking on those comments, that was the mandate. That was the mandate. Fix this department, clean it up. And we still have a few complaints, but they're greatly shrinking. The complaints, and we are actually beginning to get compliments, and that's a very nice thing because we were not used to that. We knew we really were plagued with problems in the customer service department in that area of our electric utilities. So there has been great strides, great improvement, and people are noticing it. And let's just keep on improving it. It's been a great start, and let's continue. But yeah, there was a wonderful compliment that came in today for Jerry, and so for Richard. For Richard, sorry Richard. So they're interchangeable, right, Jerry and Richard? So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Anything else, Councilman Lovelace?
Well, just to add to the comments that have already been made, I agree with the city manager. I mean, time and time again, I've complimented the department that it's done great improvements, not only through the replacement of the leadership, but also some of the internal stuff that you guys have done, both cosmetic and with procedures. I just think that this is the way to go. This is absolutely, when someone asks me, well, how are you, how's the department, I want to say more than just better. To me, it's numbers, like quantify it for me. Tell me what it is that we've done to improve and by how much. And so I guess that's just how the brain thinks, and that's what I thought we should do.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Thank you.
I look forward to getting those numbers. Thank you. Councilman Nelson.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to piggyback a little bit on those comments. One of the things when a resident calls or emails us and has a complaint, they are astounded by the response they get from city staff and council members, how we are right on top of it, assisting them in everything we possibly can. And I'd like to thank staff for that also. That's huge credit to you guys. You guys really take pride in it. I've only got a couple of things, Mayor. I attended the Rodeo Association's barbecue. After the rodeo, they had a nice barbecue, fried gator, all that good stuff. A lot of people were there, and they wanted to thank City for coming out and helping them. And also the Dade County Farm Bureau had their annual barbecue, and a lot of us were there, and they told me that they wanted to thank all of us for showing up to be out there. Along with that, I had a couple of upcoming events, but as Joanna did from the city manager's office, that was great. I like that. That was something new. Something to get the upcoming events out to the city. That's what it's about. Also online, you can also reach the calendar and get upcoming events. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Councilman Sierra.
I'm going to piggyback off of him as well. We're just piggybacking all over the place over here. The City of Homestead is coordinating a communications workshop to discuss how to best communicate with residents, and we'd like to hear from all of you. It's going to take place on Tuesday, June 2nd, here at Council Chambers at 6:30 p.m. All residents are welcome, and come in and give your opinion as to how you feel you would like to be best communicated with. Education Committee meeting is Thursday, May 28th at 5:15 p.m. here at City Chambers. As the Mayor will announce in a minute, we do have 2 openings on the voting members. Chief, I do want to tell you, the other day I received a call from Malibu Bay residents, and they could not stop singing the praises of Officer Robeson. Apparently, Officer Robeson went above and beyond the call of duty in Malibu Bay, and they asked me to make sure that you knew about it. He just really did an amazing job for them, and I want to thank you and thank him for that. Last but not least, there was a press release that I got forwarded. Local charter school to equip every student with a computer. Do you know what school this is? Somerset City Arts Conservatory, which is the charter school at City Church, will be giving every single student from kindergarten through 4th grade their own laptop computer to work with during school times. All students will be taught how to work on the laptop. They will be able to communicate with the teacher's computer within the classroom. So technology is really taking effect there. This is all because of a grant that the principal, Idalia Suarez, was able to secure. And this is what she is, a technology grant, and this is what she's going to put the use for.
Very good, excellent.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Yes, we're looking into that school right now. Yes. I've heard very good things about that school. Let me go ahead and go with the appointments. General Employees Retirement Plan, Ruth Campbell, retired board member. Can I have a motion for that appointment? I'll move. Second. So probably moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Firefighters Retirement Board, the reappointment of Frank Lopez.
Move it.
Second. So probably moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. We have two announcement. We have 2 seats open on the Education Committee, and we have 1 seat open on the Homestead Community Image Advisory Board. So those are your announcements. I have a couple of announcements to make. One of the first is I want to make sure Ms. Faddis announced the music in the park. Make sure you come out. It's a free concert. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, let the kids run around. It is a lot of fun to come to music in the park. And I've been coming to every single one of them, and they're just so much fun. Last month was the Mosquito Heads, and they were really good, really good. And the Fire Brigade is so good. They're fun. I've seen them play a couple of times. I think one was a League of Cities event. I don't remember the other time. I think it was a campaign event, but they're so good. So just please come out and see them. And also the cruise in on Chrome, June 14th. Come out to that and support that. We as a city are working very hard to bring these events downtown so that there's always something that you're able to go to downtown. And I think if you've noticed, we're improving the looks of Chrome Avenue. The Tropical Cornucopia was really a fun and wonderful event. I also want to announce that we're having the Southwest Neighborhood Plan Workshop on May the 28th. This deals with all of the businesses in the Southwest that have had concerns about the Southwest Master Plan and are revamping and changing the problem areas of that plan. So save the date for May 28th. I have a couple of announcements. About a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago, the internal auditor that we had with us, Alfredo, he suddenly resigned, and he resigned for personal reasons. So we have quickly hired, we have somebody on the job already, and he was pre-approved by council, and we have Mr. Nestor Caballero, and he started last Wednesday. So everything that the other auditor was working on has been picked up very quickly and is being worked on. So we have an auditor in place, so as quickly as this auditor left, we very quickly got on the phone to call up Mr. Caballero and ask him how quickly could he come to work, and he took a little vacation after tax season and then came right to work. So we're very fortunate to have Mr. Caballero. He's a professional, and he was pre-approved by council, so didn't have to come back for a vote. And as I said before, we were surprised by the resignation, but accepted it, and Mr. Caballero will be working for the city. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me on that one. Also, We attended, there's been so many things that we have attended in the past few weeks, so many things, but this past month I did 3 more civics lessons with the mayor from different area schools, and we even had a school as far away as Coconut Palm. So the word is getting out that the kids can come here to these chambers and have a civics lesson with the mayor. And I'm going to have to go back and count. I can't even count how many classes we've done now. We did the Kapow group from West Homestead Elementary School, that's Kids in the Power of Work, and it was so great. It was wonderful. I've done groups from the Haitian Organization of Women as well, West Homestead Elementary School, on, and it's just really great to see how the kids respond to being in council chambers. Also, there was the final student art show at Art South this past week, and it was really great. And these are the students from MacArthur South, and these are troubled young men. They go to MacArthur South, and this is part of the service learning program at Art South. And you should see how fantastic these young men paint and what kind of artists they are. And actually, I have one of their paintings hanging in my living room because that's how good I think these young men are. And they are now producing, they've turned their artwork into cards, and you can purchase the cards for a pack is, I think, $10, and they're just beautiful cards. So anybody, I would encourage you to support that. And this past weekend was the final art show for Art South. Also, I gave a welcome for the Weed and Seed. They had their Teen Summit, and they had a wonderful guest speaker, and his name was Entrell Roll. And of course, I gave a greeting, and they're all looking at Entrell Roll, so I said, I'm going to wrap this up very quickly because I can see you really want to hear Entrell, not the mayor of Homestead. So I gave a really quick hello, how are you, and here's Entrell. So he did an excellent job, by the way, Chief. He did a really good job talking to the kids. And one of the themes as I stood there and listened to him was that he was talking about kids getting in trouble. And when he said that he never got in trouble and he wasn't interested, and that his parents made sure he studied, and his parents made sure. And so I wanted to bring that back to you, that nothing can take the place of parental participation. So I just want to let you know that, Chief. But he was very impressive and tell the kids not to get in trouble in the first place. And that's a message you don't often hear. It's how you get out of trouble and not to repeat the trouble. And he was telling them, don't get in trouble in the first place. So it was really good. Again, the Chamber of Business Expo was excellent. I also attended a Southwest area mayor's lunch, and it was good just for the different mayors on the southern end to kind of get together once in a while and share our equal concerns for the southern end of the county. And we used to say how we were ignored down south. I don't think we're really ignored too much anymore. We really can't say that, but it's good for us mayors to get together and collaborate. Now, I wanted to bring something to your attention. Now for the not-so-pleasant stuff. There has been, for the third time, a story printed in the neighbors section of the Miami Herald for the third time by Mr. Elgin Jones concerning the Confederate flag, the Human Relations Board, the closure of the Human Relations Board, and on and on. And many statements are made in the paper that are not true, they're not factual, or they're misleading, or they're quotes that are kind of out of place. So I just wanted to discuss that for a minute. And just to go back just a minute, now there's been three meetings on that. And there's been a promise by the former head of the HRB and the vice chair of the HRB that we've not heard the last of them, and they are going to really, I guess the word is, cause us some issues. And there was an email passed around, and there's a meeting actually going on right now in Florida City, and the former HRB, the heads of the HRB have contacted Bishop Victor Curry, and they're having a meeting right now to discuss the City of Homestead, the flag issue, and the dissolution of the Human Relations Board. And one of the things that this article states that I want to deal with is the only reason why the Human Relations Board, why we took them on, was because of the flag issue. We were just trying to shut them down. Now, let me make something perfectly clear. We have discussed restructuring of the boards since last October. We discussed it with Sheila, discussed it with the manager, and it's interesting how the article doesn't mention how we changed many boards, not just one, but many. We've changed planning and zoning. We've changed historic preservation. We're currently working on many boards. These council members are all restructuring their boards. And with that being said, I believe in doing things as fairly and justly as possible. I also don't believe in trying to expose people or trying to show when they're doing things badly or inappropriately. I try very hard to help everybody save face. And when we wanted to recreate the HRB to fit the city of Homestead, that was very appropriate, and it was something that I had wanted to do anyway. But I wanted to share some things with you. We have had a lot of issues with the HRB, the past HRB. We had a lot of issues, and I didn't choose to bring it in the public, but my hand has been forced because they keep putting this stuff in the paper. There's going to be an article in the Metro section, I was told, on the outcome of this meeting, and it's really an attack against the city of Homestead, and it's a political attack against this mayor and against this council. And so the reason why I just feel like, transparency in government, you have to bring things to the public and you have to let the public know what's happening. But this is an attack, and I don't know why anybody thinks that they are entitled to a lifelong, to a board for life, or they think that they're entitled to serve in their capacity for life. There's no such thing as entitlement in government, and everybody is equally accountable. The Human Relations Board is a board that's supposed to be just a board that makes recommendations to mayor and council. That's their whole authority. That's all of their authority, is they're a recommending board, just like planning and zoning. They have a meeting, they make a recommendation, they have a vote, and it comes as a recommendation to the mayor and council. And we read that, we take it seriously. And this council has been under great attack for about 6 months now, since we had the flag issue. And I don't really want to talk about the flag issue because this council really handled this as well as we possibly could. The parade was simple. It was put on by the Military Affairs Committee of the Chamber of Commerce. We facilitated a public meeting. They went and had their own meeting, and nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever good enough. We had a demand to ban an organization from a parade. We do not have the authority to do that. It's unconstitutional, and it's against freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. So we were very careful in referring it back to the chamber. They handled it as best as they could. There was great options giving, but nothing was good enough. But I wanted to read the mission statement that the HRB was supposed to be falling under. And the mission statement says, to bring together diverse groups to speak in one voice, to move forward in the growth of the cities of Homestead and Florida City, to bring harmony to the communities, and to make a broad statement that everyone is accepted. Well, I'm going to be very blunt and straightforward, is that I do not believe that mission was being kept. I do not. I have here in an envelope some of the things that our HRB did in the past was egregious and embarrassing. And they made charges, our Human Relations Board made charges against the Homestead Housing Authority. I know I'm making some of you nervous, but I'm going to tell it like it is. Charges were made against the Homestead Housing Authority, and they came from our Human Relations Board. And they went to the Miami-Dade County Community Relations Board, and the charges made of discrimination against the Housing Authority. At great personal expense, the Housing Authority hired attorneys and attorneys to investigate at great expense. They investigated. They have a report. I would be happy to make this report available to any reporters that would like to have it. And there was a charge that went before the Equal Opportunity Board based on a complaint from our Human Relations Board, and it's stated right in this complaint. Our Human Relations Board did not have the authority to go outside of this council and make charges against somebody. That's the kind of things that were happening. There's been an all-out attack on this mayor personally from the former head of the HRB and the vice chair and vice chair, and those attacks are on YouTube, and it's going to continue. So I wanted to make this public aware that the city of Homestead, this mayor and this council, and I speak for this council, has done everything decently and in order. When the HRB began attacking the city and putting letters into the Herald to attack us and putting letters in the newsletter to attack us and letters in the Monitor to attack us, I don't know how you can attack the mayor and council that you purport to serve. And if there truly were issues and truly were problems, this board, this council would definitely take them head on, and we would just jump right in. And we've done the best we can to facilitate meetings, facilitate hearings, and there was, by the way, aside of all of that, I wanted to create a community relations board that represented Homestead anyway, but I needed to put that on record because all of these personal attacks are stating that the only reason that we're dissolving the board was because of this flag issue, and that's not the case. There are many other issues and there are many reasons. One other thing a lot of people didn't know about was that this joint committee was 100% funded by Homestead. And by the way, I have a very good relationship with Mayor Wallace, and he's a wonderful man, and this is absolutely no disrespect to Mayor Wallace, but the city of Homestead, we staffed the Human Relations Board meeting. We had them in our chambers when lawyers had to be present. We paid for the lawyers' time. We paid 100% of the Martin Luther King prayer breakfast. We paid 100% of that. We paid 100% of the cost of the Human Relations Board. It was not split between Homestead and Florida City. It was 100% on us. And so it stands to reason, if we're not 30,000 residents anymore, we're now 60. That we need to have a board that represents the demographics completely of the citizens of Homestead, and that we do, and we have an excellent council, and we have an excellent city, and we are going to use this new community relations board, and we're going to use it to make the city even better. I have been assured that by next month that all of the different restructuring of the different boards will be coming back to us, and we're going to use this board as well as all of the restructuring of all the other boards to make the city not just a better city, but a fantastic and a great city. And I will tell you, we've done a lot of good work in the city of Homestead, a lot of good work lately, and I know people come up and tell me, I've seen things happen in the city of Homestead in the past year and a half that I haven't seen it happen in 5 or 10 years. So to this council, I want to compliment you, and you're doing a wonderful job. And you know what? People are constantly having to defend themselves against these false charges, but I just want you to know I do appreciate your support, and I get it. I get a lot of support from all of you in the community, and you know better. And that's the great thing about this community is you know better. Thank you very much.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
I know my time to talk has passed, but I did want to add something that has been bothering me since I read this article. Actually, I didn't read the article. When it came out online, I was meeting with the city manager, and they brought in a copy of it. And one of the first things and the last things that I saw, because I was so repulsed by this statement, there was a picture of the American flag, and under the American flag it said, "City officials want good old days back, when blacks were slaves." This is the reporter that wrote this article, and my stomach just turned, because I think that, just to make a derogatory statement like that with absolute no truth to it. And I think back to which I've never said in the public, but my own son whose father is black. To say something like that I would want this for this community is just so hurtful and so derogatory. In regards to the flag, I don't understand why nobody has said this. This group that carried this Confederate flag has stated that they will no longer show this flag in public, that they will choose another flag. I never defended the flag. As a matter of fact, I've upheld the experiences that people have had with this flag and acknowledged that this has been hurtful and it does mean something very negative to a group of people. And I've said that in the public several times. Mayor, I agree with you. I don't think that there's a point to this argument. Time and time again we've brought forth the resolution. The flag issue has been resolved. It will no longer be shown in public. It will no longer be shown in a parade. They've said already that they've conceded to not flying the Confederate flag in any public event. What else is a resolution to that? And another thing that I wanted to say, Mayor Wallace has mentioned in this article, if it was indeed something that a city official could do to ban a group, then let Florida City lead the way. We've already said it is not for us under any authority to ban any group. It is not something that we can do. And why is the city of Homestead being looked upon like this? If it was something that could be done, don't you think Florida City would have already done it with Mayor Wallace leading the way? I just don't understand it. These articles, when I read that, it discredited the report completely for me. I have not read not one single thing of that article, Mayor Bell. I have to tell you, because that one statement that he made about us just sickened me to my stomach.
Thank you very much. I was listening to a lot of the minutes from different board meetings and committee meetings and subcommittee meetings, and one of the things that, and I don't remember which DVD it was or CD it was, but there was a comment made when they were meeting with the Military Affairs Committee, because it really is not our issue. So we told them, go deal with the MAC, the Military Affairs Committee. It's their parade. It's not our parade. And so the gentleman from the Sons of Confederate Veterans offered to fly a different flag that's not associated with the same racism that's associated with the traditional Confederate flag. He said he would fly some obscure battle flag, and he would fly a different type of a battle flag, and his response was, no, that's not good enough. We want you out of the parade. And so that is exactly how our HRB handled it. And here is an email that was forwarded anonymously to me, and it's from Rosemary Fuller, and it says, subject, Bishop Curry to address Confederate flag in Homestead. So they're still trying to make it an issue attached to us, and it's not. And it says, Dear Lee, basically let the alumni know that on Monday, May 18th at 7 p.m., Bishop Victor Curry, president of the NAACP, will discuss the Confederate flag in the Veterans Day flag. I think she meant parade. On November 11th, this is November 11th. Do you see how far this goes back? The Confederate flag marched directly in front of the present mayor and council in the parade. You all know we were told where to line up. As a result, the Homestead, Florida City Human Relations Board brought this to the attention of the mayor and council. The mayor and council voted to do away with the board rather than to take a stand against the Sons of Confederate Veterans who marched in the parade 1 week after President Obama was elected. So somehow they're trying to tie this into something that doesn't belong. And so I want the public to know what's going on. I really do believe in transparency in government, letting the public know what's going on, and these attacks and this nonsense, this absolute nonsense. And to think that we have the right. By the way, I could go on and on, but that's enough. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, enough said, so I'm not going to really add anymore, except I want to ask the cameraman to just do me a favor by just zooming at this council and this staff here and show the citizens of Homestead diversity in Homestead and the city government.
I know, we've said that before. I don't even want to repeat it. I don't know that you could find a more diverse staff in the. I mean, look at our council chambers tonight. Look how beautiful. And that it's. Well, I need to go on again. We've said it before, but diversity in Homestead is natural. It's not forced. It's not made up. It's just natural, and it's throughout the staff. It's throughout our senior staff. It's throughout the council. It's throughout the citizens. So. I believe in the end of the day, everything will be fine. It's just that we're going to have to put up with some attacks. I'm used to it. Bring it on.
And Mayor, if you allow me to just say, when it comes to staff employment, I can tell you no one was hired based on their race. They all were hired based on their qualifications. It's just natural that we have in this city people who are qualified to do the best job, regardless of race, and we just happen to be that naturally diversified, like you said.
That's right. Very good. Thank you so much. Anyway.
Madam Mayor, just by way of scheduling a little more mundane, I do want to tell you that the ordinances that you were talking about, the ordinances abolishing the Boxing Commission, abolishing the Off-Street Parking Authority, abolishing the Florida City Homestead Community Relations Board, abolishing the Disability Board, that's sort of one ordinance. We've given that to staff to review, and we've also given them an ordinance creating the Homestead Community Relations Board, which includes the disability issue, and redoing all of the board ordinances. So those are all drafted, and I saw Mike had some homework to do because I know that he got them printed out, walking around with them today. So they will be on your next COW agenda for you to review, and we can move forward. So that's just by way of scheduling of those items.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, the new board is going to include disability issues and special needs issues, and it's something that we really do need to look into those issues in Homestead. Thank you very much.
Just one quick, yes. After that negative, I'd like to end with a positive, and that is that I received an email today that said that registration is being accepted for school TT1, which hasn't officially been named yet, at the corner of Canal and Farm Life, and residents of the Keysgate area may go over to Campbell Drive Elementary School and register. And remember, it's going to be K through 4 the first year. So if anybody, any of the residents are, K through 8 eventually, but the first year is going to be K through 4 till they see what kind of student body they end up with as far as numbers to fill the stations. so people can go over to Campbell Drive Elementary School and sign their children up if they'd like so choose to attend the new school next fall.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your attentiveness. And with no more business to attend to, this meeting is now adjourned. Did you want that?
Yeah. I just don't want her to ask you a question.